Hi, this is Gary with MacMost.com. On this episode, let's take a look at how you can do powerful searches in the Finder using raw queries. So as an example here, I've got some text files that I've created and put in a samples folder in my documents folder. So say I want to find one of these. Of course I can just use the basic search functionality here. Here's the search box at the top and type in the name. And then I could even say I want it to be the name matching, not contents, and it'll find this file. And I could specify that I want it in the current folder instead of the entire Mac. And that all works really well. But say I want to do something a little more complex, like I wanted to find all files that ended with something or began with something or had certain characters in it. I wanted to basically use wildcards like you might do in a more advanced system for searching for things. Well, you can do that with the regular search if you know how. Now let's do something a little more complex. Say I wanted to find the files that end with the letter Y. There's 5 out of 7 here. So what I can do is I can start a search. I'm just going to hit the space bar here to start a search. I'm going to just search within that folder. And I'm going to add a search criteria here. And I'm going to say, I can say the name ends with Y. And you can see it works. But what if I want to do something even more complex? What if I wanted something like the ones that have 2 P's in them or 2 E's in them? Well, I can't really do that with this very easily. I can do contains and that'll work, but I can't get even more complex than that. So I'm going to switch to, instead of searching by name, search by other. In this huge list of things you can search for, I can jump down to raw query. I'm going to search by raw query, which I'm going to check off here so it appears now in the menu. So now it's easy to add. And with raw query I can search for things based on very specific things in the name. And I have to use this special attribute. You have to list attributes. So KMD, item display name, and then equals. And I could do something like wildcard PPY. Anything that ends in PPY. Or anything that has PP in the middle or EE in the middle. Or anything that has EE and then a Z like that. You can use these asterisks any place you want in there to basically find files with very complex criteria of what's in the display name. And I can expand this beyond just that folder, of course, and look and see what's available on the entire drive. And you can see there's a lot of different things here. This appears here because there's 2 E's and then there's a Y there at the end. So you can also see how quickly it searched the entire contents of my hard drive, and there are a lot of files there. In addition, I don't have to just use this piece of criteria. I can use other ones. Like for instance, here's one I'm going to put in called duration seconds, and going to make it greater than, say, 600 seconds, and I get returned a whole bunch of things. Some of these video files, some of them audio files that have a duration of greater than 600 seconds. And you can combine things. So I can put parentheses around this. So video files that have that, I have to use programmer notation here. So this 2 ampersands is like asking and. So the duration is greater than 600 seconds and the display name is going to have, say, 2005 at the beginning of it. And you can see now I only get results that have all of that going on in this much longer query here. So probably the next thing you want to know is what else can you search for besides display name and duration of media. Well, if you look in the Apple developer site, you find a list of these metadata attributes. And there are a ton of them here. Now the thing to worry about is that not all of them are you going to find. For instance, just because there is one with copyright doesn't mean that your file has a copyright date set to it. If you create something and you've created the file and you haven't put a copyright date there, it's not going to have it, or the app you're using doesn't even use this. So a lot of these aren't going to apply, but then a lot of them will apply universally for all files. So you can kind of look through these and see ones that will apply to certain types of files, ones that will apply to all files, and ones that you may never see in any files that you're currently using. But at least it gives you an idea of what's available. I'll include a link to this URL in the notes for this episode.